If we are indeed nothing more than a collection of particles, then the operation of our minds is as susceptible to the laws of nature as balls on a billiard table. In other words, our actions are predestined, and our cherished capacity for free will is merely an illusion. Here the metaphysics of mind has obvious and profound implications in ethics and political philosophy. If a person's behavior, or that of a society, is externally determined, how can anyone be held accountable for their actions?
If a human being is just a sort of snarl in the fabric of cause and effect, then how can it observe the world? How can it engage the world? How can it turn the knobs? How can it be independent or autonomous? So it's this idea of being able to manipulate the world and yet being independent of the world enough to manipulate it by our own free will. That is a fundamental idea that we have about freedom. And it leads directly to an impossible vision, the idea of the self or the ego or the agent as this sort of dimensionless point which is the source of free decision and free action. And again, it's the same idea of everything coming together at a point. We look at I raise my arm. Well, what made my arm go up? Well, my muscles contracting. What made my muscles contract? Well, the motor nerves made my muscles contract. What made my motor nerves fire? Well, up here in the premotor strips are more active. Well, what made that happen? And we go back, upstream, and it seems as if we have to come to this Cartesian point where we have found the source of the decision to raise my arm. And if, on that passage, all we come to is just more causes and more effects leading back to, my childhood or before my birth, then it seems that we walk through the whole story and we never find the agent, we never find the free agent. So there's a tremendous temptation to postulate the agent as the nexus, the center, where the considerations and the reasons come in, and then a sort of miraculous decision happens, and we have what some philosophers have called agent causation. And I think agent causation is just, as Peter Strawson once said, it's obscure and panicky metaphysics. It's just grasping the nettle and saying, well, gosh, I know this doesn't make any scientific sense, but it's just got to be, because otherwise I don't have the kind of free will I want. I think the task is to show why that isn't the kind of free will you ought to want.